Story time on how these two schizophrenic patients almost blew up the entire mental hospital. And the one almost killed me in my sleep. So this story takes place at the lighthouse. Fuck that place. So at the lighthouse, the boys and girls are separated. So on the boys' side, there was a schizophrenic patient, and then on the girls' side, there was also a schizophrenic patient. And I don't have nothing against people that see shit, okay? But for some reason, they always have something against me. I don't know. So these two incidents take place like a couple days apart. So we're gonna start with the first one. So the first one happened in the cafeteria. So the schizophrenic boy, he was obsessed with the devil. Both of them were, actually, in their own different ways. And it was weird in two different ways. You understand? So in the cafeteria, the boys and the girls, they would be together, but obviously at different, tables and everything. And in the cafeteria, there was like a drink, thing where you could fill up your drinks, and then water and silverware, and then, all the condiments and everything. And behind there were the gas lines, okay? Now, somehow this boy got a hold of a lighter, or snuck one in, not sure how, but he was concealing it the whole time. And probably 15 minutes prior to this, he is saying all type of satanic, like, ritual sounding phrases. Like, he is straight up worshiping the devil over at this table. And he's being loud enough to where everybody can hear him, So it was kind of getting concerning for everybody. And we kept telling the staff, like, please get him out of here. Like, he is gonna go psychotic. Like, he's gonna go fucking off the rails on one of us. As soon as we get to saying that, he done cracked open one of them pepper condiment things, dumped it on the table, and snorted it. I don't know if that just gave him the power boost he needed, but man, he had shit to do after that, let me tell you. You would have swore that pepper was like fucking cocaine, man. That shit. Something snapped in his mind. He was like, fuck it, I want to go rip these gas lines out of the wall and then light this lighter. He gets to standing up. He walked over to the gas lines. He pulled this lighter out of his pocket. Thank God somebody, like one of the staff members was watching him. As soon as he pulled this lighter out of his pocket and grabbed the gas line, everybody just come tackling him down. And now we're all in shock because we're like, damn, he could have just blown up this whole thing. Like, we would have all just been dead, This other girl, she see what he doing. She's trying to go over and help him. So this schizophrenic girl, she gets up, walks over, and starts beating on all of the, what are they called? The staff members, I guess. We're gonna call them that, staff members. So now it's like 3 staff members against 2 schizophrenic patients. So of course they radio for backup, and everybody come rushing in. They get the situation, under control. A few days later, I'm talking about the situation to the few of the girls. And the schizophrenic girl, she got put in the rubber room, So she wasn't really in the unit. Now, they decided to bring her back to start socializing with everybody, in the unit again. And as she walk in, she hears me talking about it. And immediately, she's got a grudge against me. She don't like me. I'm talking about she's walking behind me and she's cursing me out. She's saying that God needs to save me because the devil is on me and I'm the devil himself. Like, I'm bamboozled. Like, I'm like, damn, okay. I get to asking her, like, what her issue is with me. Like, are you good? Like, what's wrong? She gonna tell me the only way for me to be free is for her to kill me. What? This shit had me speechless. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna put nothing against a schizophrenic person, okay? So what do? I shut the fuck up, bitch. Yeah. So it gets to about like 7:30, and we're getting ready for bed and everything, and they get to deciding that they want to change her room, and they want to put her in my room because it is closest to the front desk, so somebody can sit outside of her room all night. I'm like, damn, like, my luck. So I'm like, look, if you could put her in my room, don't put her bed next to mine. Like, I'm not sleeping next to this bitch. To be honest, I don't even want to sleep in this room, and I was giving them shit about even putting me in this room with her, but, they were like, let's just see how the night goes, we'll see how it is, and, if there's an issue, we'll move the room. And I'm already telling them that she thinks I'm the devil himself. Like, she doesn't know whether to worship me or fucking send me off to hell. So I'm like, whatever. Like, I feel comfortable that, one of the staff was sitting outside, and she was one of the bigger ladies, so I'm like, nothing gonna happen to me, I'm good. So I get to rolling over, I'm facing the wall, my bed's against the wall, so I'm, looking at the wall. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm sitting there, my eyes are closed, and I feel this, like, gust of wind, just like this, right? I turn my head, I look up, tell me why this bitch got my fucking sandals. She's trying to beat the shit out of me with my fucking shoes, my own shoes. Thank God that staff member was sitting right by the door. Like, the door was right here, and my bed was right here. So she was able to, like, come and grab her hand as she was coming down. So all I felt was the gust of wind, And let me tell you, if that shit would have connected, shit. So at this point, my heart's racing. I'm like, damn, now she genuinely mean it. She want to kill me. They finally get, the shoes out of her hand, and she's sitting there yelling that she doesn't want me in her room, and that, they need to get me out, and this, that, and the third. So they ended up taking her back to the rubber room. Tell me why this bitch took my slides. She took my fucking slides. The next morning, I wake up pissed as fuck because I didn't have my slides. I mean, I got new ones, but that wasn't the point in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And that morning, all of the doctors were coming in. So, like, they were, like, doing discharge on people, like, if you were ready to be discharged, like, they would do your paperwork and shit. And I had one of the worst doctors. So I was in there arguing with this bitch, and she kept telling me my emotions were getting the best of me when I literally almost died twice in the past 72 hours. Doctors start telling me shit I don't want to hear, how I need to be more medicated and that, you know, it doesn't really matter what other patients are doing, that I can't control my own emotions. And I'm like, bitch, how are you gonna blame it on my emotions when I literally almost died? So me and her start arguing. Like, I'm talking about arguing. She calling in staff members, I start throwing shit. Bitch, I'm picking up my chair, throwing it at that bitch. I'm picking up her desk, flipping that bitch. She get the guards coming in, she gonna talk about booty juicer. Bitch, they booty juiced me. But let me tell you that shit, I get booty juiced again. That shit was... Not the part where I got booty juice. That shit hurt. But the medicine, yeah. I ended up having to stay like another week, I think, because of that whole situation. And they were even talking about sending me off to like long-term placement and shit. But somehow I got out of that. Don't know how, but thank you, Lord. And they kept her in the rubber room the rest of the time that I was there, at least. So I didn't have to see her again. And I don't know what happened to the dude, the other one, but hopefully he's good. Hopefully they're both thriving.
Girl, the whole time I was watching this video, I thought she was one of the staffs, bruh. One of the nurses, anybody but the person who was in the place. I didn't know that she was a patient, bruh. So when I connected the dots, bro, what in the world is happening? I mean, low-key, a little dramatic about the second time about the unalive, a little dramatic, but I understand, because if you hit the right nerve or the right thing, yeah, you know. But yeah, friend, 2 times, bruh. And then you wasn't helping your case when you going off on the nurse and everything, throwing stuff. Girl, what? We trying to get up out of there, girl. We want them to know that we is in good health, good mind, sane, you know. Girl, now that was crazy. What she talking about? They talking about they didn't like you, and she just like, oh, you the devil now and all the other stuff. Girl, I would be rebuking her like, don't even put that on me. No, get out. Girl, almost getting blown up. Like, thank God all those people was there and watching him. Like, some people I feel like just need 24/7 surveillance. Like, you can give them their space, but watch them. I would not have turned over and faced the wall to go to sleep. No, one eye open. I'm always looking at you. You see me, I see you. I ain't going to sleep until you go to sleep. And even then, I'm not going to sleep. She wouldn't even be in my room. Why would she be in my room? And she told me that she wanted to unalive me. I'd be like, make this make sense, you guys. Make it make sense. Because I promise you, she going to be unalive before I be unalive, bruh. Try me if you want, honey. It's a reason why I'm up in here, bruh. It's a reason. But yeah, no, friend, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you got out. And I freaking love her aesthetics. I love her piercing. I love her septum piercing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I haven't had mine in. Because why? Because I've been sick. I'm getting better. I'm so much better now. I'm so much better. Like, the other day I woke up and I wasn't icky. Like, I've been feeling icky for almost 4 months. Just icky. Just draining, just coughing, sneezing. For like a few days I had that cough. It was crazy. I would just be sleeping, waking up coughing. So because I had all that stuff going on with my nose, I took my nose ring out and bitch, the shit closed, bruh. You know I'm getting it re-pierced. After I made, like, I'm for real done with this, I'm getting it re-pierced. Come with me, bruh. Like, it's crazy because I got this pierced by myself. I remember I was still in college and I was supposed to go with my friend and was going to go between her classes, but something happened and I was just like, I'm not going to wait. It was my birthday too. So I went by myself to get my nose pierced on my birthday and I was like, okay, this is a tradition. So I went what was it? When I was 25, 26, got this one pierced by myself. But I don't think it was on my birthday. I loved how this came out because once I got this pierced, this lip swelled up. It was so beautiful. I had big, beautiful lips. It was just, I was so good. Okay, back to the story time.
Do you guys want to hear a scary story?
Girl, yes.
This one is a quick one, but blood curdling will definitely make you stay up tonight. So this was towards, and for context, I used to babysit for an extremely haunted house, and there's 2 girls I babysat for. The oldest one I called her Luna, the younger one I called Aura. This is to protect their identities. So Luna was very attached to a demonic entity called Pete that presented itself to her as an imaginary friend, but was way bigger than that, obviously. Aura was always afraid of the things happening in the house. Luna saw it differently because that's what it was presented to her at the time. So basically, towards the end of me babysitting for this family, because I babysat for years, Luna was finally starting to realize that these things are not normal and this is not an imaginary friend. And Pete started dropping his mask and appearing to her how I saw her. Or I'm sorry, I saw him and how Aura saw him, which was terrifying, demonic, scary ass figure to see. He started showing himself that way to Luna, who he normally presented to as an imaginary friend, like a little boy. So she started to get afraid of him towards the end of me babysitting. And there was one night in particular, I remember I went to sleep, like I laid down with the girls. Another story, another video, what had happened earlier the night, we'd had some things happen that we were all very uncomfortable with. And I, as like a babysitter, did not feel comfortable with them falling asleep alone, to be honest. And I also was scared. I didn't want to be by myself either. So I'm laying in bed with them. They had separate rooms, but this particular night, like, we went to sleep in the same room. So it was basically me in the middle, and then I had like Luna on this side of me, or on the other side. I'm not actually sleeping, obviously, right? Like, I'm just waiting for them to fall asleep and planning on staying home till a parent gets home. Like, there's no way I'm sleeping at this point. And basically, so I'm obviously not planning on like sleeping actually, but I'm just laying there. And Luna taps me on the shoulder, and like I look over because Aura was sleeping. And I was like, what's up? And she's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, like, I'll go with you. And she's like, no, like, it's okay. I'm okay to go. And I'm like, are you sure you want to walk to the bathroom by yourself? Like, I didn't even want to walk to the bathroom at that point. But I also did not want to leave Aura, the younger one, alone. And she's like, no, the bathroom is literally like the room next to it. She's like, I'll be right back. I just have to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay. And I'm waiting there. I'm laying in bed. And I roll over to like look at Aura and make sure she's okay. And I'm just like, looking at her sleep. She was just adorable, right? And I'm just like kind of scared somehow, so I'm just like checking out to see if she's actually sleeping. She looks all cute, looks all sweet. And then I feel the bed sheet move, and Luna, you know, gets back in the bed. And I didn't see her walk back into the room at first, so, but it had been a night, right? And then when she got into the bed on the other side of me, Aura starts like moving, like she felt the motion of the bed. So I put my hand on Aura's shoulder to like keep her asleep. And I feel the blanket behind me, like, obviously, you know, she's in the bed. Pull the blanket back up to her shoulder. I feel the blanket move up. This is so scary. This is actually one of Luna's memories she told me about, so keep that in mind too. I pushed this out of my head. And then I feel a hand on my shoulder. Or like, it felt like something like this. Like someone was rubbing like right here on my shoulder, where she just like came back in bed. And I was like, oh, like, hey, baby, like, shh, 1 second. I wasn't looking at her, but I'm like, shh, 1 second. Still looking at Aura, trying to keep her asleep. And it's silent. And I'm like, no way. And I said, Luna. And then I hear a really, like, deep, guttural, grown man sounding snore, like, in my ear. And I immediately jumped up. Like, I just sat up like this, but I didn't look behind me yet. So I'm feeling this on my shoulder. I sit up, and I'm not wanting to look behind me. Like, I know what's happening. I don't care anymore about Aura waking up. I'm like, Luna. I scream like, Luna. And she's from the bathroom. I can hear her. I'm coming, Riley. I'm coming, Riley. And then I feel the blanket move next to me on the side where I think the whole time Luna's getting back in bed. Luna's not in bed. Luna's in the bathroom, so I feel the blanket start pulling down, like, off my shoulder. Like, it's pulling from that side of the bed, and it's pulling almost off the bed. And I finally get the courage. I turn around, and I just look. And I see nothing, of course. And I go to part of the blanket was, like, because I said it was being pulled off of me, part of it had dragged onto the floor. So I pick it up, and when I pick up the blanket off the floor, I just see the end of, like, fingertips coming from under the bed. But they are decrepit, decaying, black, charred, like, looking fingers. And I just see, like, kind of from, like, here forward, pull back under the bed. I know it's not a real person at this point, and so I don't check to investigate. I'm just, like, losing my mind at this point. Luna runs back into the room, and I look at her in the doorway, and I'm like, run. And she ran and, like, jumped on the bed, and I'm holding her. And she was like, you didn't have to check on me. I said, what do you mean, when I called out to you? She's like, yeah, you didn't have to check on me. Everything's okay. It's okay. And I was like, what do you mean, like, check on you, baby? Like, and she said, oh, just how you peeked into the door when I was going into the bathroom. No one peeked in the door. I was in bed the whole time. And there is nobody else that is living human in this house. But yeah, that was one of my worst ones, and I still get scared to fall asleep anywhere besides on my back, to where I can't like see anything on either side of me, because I think that's why I kind of forgot about that story, but subconsciously it's always been in my head, and nightmare fuel. That's all I know. Bye.
Girl, I am freezing now. Freezing. Like, I have on a sweater. Why? Can you even see my hair? My hair is, I can't. But you see the goosebumps. Bruh. Oh my goodness. I just need to process that. I need to process it, because we heard the story that led up to this story. We heard that story. Can't remember it. Pushed it out my head because it's scary. We just saw it. No, friend. That little girl was brave to go to the bathroom by herself, bro. By herself. Riley talking about, yeah, I didn't hear her get in the bed, like walk in the room, but I felt her get in the bed. The whole time I was like, that's not her, girl. That's not her, girl. Look. Because, well, I guess it didn't really matter if she looked, because she wouldn't have seen anything. Because when she did look, she didn't see anything. But then she saw something. What if she looked and she saw? She saw the man, bro. What if she looked and saw the man who, or whatever that was, in the bed, snored, bro? Had the audacity to touch her, bro. That's the reason why the baby moved when she was asleep. She was just like, what's this presence that just got up in the bed, bro? Girl. And then the baby said, thank you for checking in on me. I saw your head peep in. No! Can you imagine that, bro? Yo, I was using the bathroom the other day. I had popped the edible. And I had the door cracked a little bit, and I was sitting on the toilet, and it was about that time. And so I was sitting on the toilet, and I was just imagining, what if a ghost popped his head up in here? And I was like, the ghost head wouldn't even make it up in here, because they would get to the door and be like, what did die? What did die? It ain't me. And when it went round and like dark, you know, I'm so excited about the new Scary Movie. I'm too excited. Like, that would be a scene from Scary Movie, bro. But no, that was super scary. I'm cold still, so we're just gonna go to the next one. Okay.
My grandma's house was extremely haunted, and I used to babysit there, story time. When I was little, the adults would go outside and party all night long, and I would stay in the house and watch the kids, and on this night, I was babysitting a family friend's daughter named Cam. So like every other weekend, we were in the house watching TGI Friday, waiting on Step by Step to go off so we could watch a movie, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So we eat supper, take a bath, watch our movie, and we go to bed around 10 o'clock. Cammy was like 5 or 6 years old, and anytime she got scared, she would run down the hallway, come in my room, and jump into bed with me. I would hear her little feet stomping down the hallway like toot toot toot, so I recognized the sound every time. Well, around 1 a.m., I hear her feet stomping down the hallway, so I assumed she was coming to jump in the bed with me. But like a good 30 seconds goes by and she still hasn't come into my room, so I whisper, Cammy, come on. I sit up in bed and go, Cammy, is that you? My door's open, come on. And then my door slammed shut, so I thought it was her. So after the door shut, I see this white blur darting around the room like on all fours, and I'm like, Cammy, stop, you're gonna get us in trouble, get up here. I sit up in bed and I can barely see this thing because it's darting around so fast on all fours, so I yell, Cammy, stop, you're scaring me. As soon as I said that, this thing went underneath my bed, so I leaned over and said, Cammy, get up. There ain't no way I'm going down there, get up here. I see a little kid hand sticking out from underneath my bed, so I reach down to grab it, and before I can get to it, my bedroom door opens and it's Cammy standing there. She said, Alicia, I'm scared, can I sleep with you? I said, no, we ain't sleeping in here, so we took off running back to her room and hid underneath the covers. So we finally fall asleep, and a couple hours later, Cammy wakes me up and says, Alicia, look over there. What is that? There's something in the corner, look. I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't want to look because I knew damn well what it was. I've seen it a million times before, so I told her, I was like, just go back to sleep, don't pay it no attention, it'll go away. So she rolls over and hides her face in my chest, and I peek over the covers and look, and it was that black shadow with the red eyes hubbed up in the corner staring at us. So I'm making direct eye contact with it, and Cammy whispers, what if it tries to get us? What if it gets us, Alicia? I'm scared. I said, don't worry, it won't get us. And then I watched it disappear. Right as I'm dozing off, Cammy says, Alicia, I have to pee really bad. I said, is there any way you can hold it? I don't want to go down that hallway. She said, no, I'll pee on the bed. I thought to myself, oh my God, it's hard enough for me to get down that hallway by myself. How the hell am I going to get both of us down that hallway without that thing getting us? I tried to cut the light on, but it wouldn't stay on. It never did. And I get her, and we start walking down the hallway, and I feel that thing on the back of my neck, so I push her, and we take off running. She's sitting on the toilet trying to poop. I'm standing in front of the mirror and I hear something scratching on the bathroom door, and I knew it wasn't a dog because we didn't have pets in the house. It was that thing. For some dumb reason, I thought if I kicked the bathroom door open, that would scare it away. So I kicked the bathroom door and then I stuck my head out the hallway to see if it was still there. So I look down the hallway and I see what looks like Cammy peeking out from my bedroom door around the corner looking at me smiling, and I look back on the toilet and Cammy's sitting there trying to poop. That tells me whatever that thing is still in my bedroom and I'm not going back in there. And what scared me even more was the fact that it was trying to make itself look just like Cammy to lure me out. So when she got done, I said, look, when I say go, you take off running back to your room, don't look either way, and get underneath covers. And that was what we did. Well, at some point in the night, the adults get done drinking and partying, so they all come in, and her mom sees us asleep in their room and doesn't want to wake us up, so she goes to sleep in my room. You know, that demonic hellhole that I call a bedroom, yeah, that's where she chose to go to sleep, because she didn't know about all the hauntings. So around 4 a.m., Cam's mom hears my bedroom door shut, and she thinks it's somebody from the outside closing it so she can get some sleep, but she had no idea all hell was about to break loose in that room. It was right around daybreak, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, that we hear her mom screaming the screechiest screech you could imagine. She woke the whole house up. She was yelling, Cam, how did you get up there? Get down from there. What's wrong with your face? Your eyes? Oh my God. So me and Cam sit up in bed and look at each other like, who is she talking to? So we go out in the hallway where she meets us and she says, wait a minute, if you're there, who's that? Wait, how are you in here? I just saw you on the ceiling. Oh hell no, we're getting the hell out of here. So she grabbed their stuff, she snatched Cam up and they took off, and we didn't see them for a while. Y'all, it's almost Halloween and I'm so excited, so stay tuned for more scary stories.
Girl, you would think I planned this lineup. This is clearly, I'm gonna title this, Who's Watching You? Maybe. That's a good one. That's good. I gotta remember that. Who's watching you? They're watching. They're watching. That's the one. That's what the title's gonna be. Girl, what is going on, bruh? No! That mom was too calm. Kimmy, what you doing out here? I just saw you on the ceiling. Does that make sense, love? Oh, she's still drunk. That's what that was. She was still drunk and just wasn't. She was like, blame it on the alcohol. Because what? No. Blame it on the Jose. Blame it on somebody. Because no, that's too freaking scary, bro. I wouldn't know. I couldn't live in that house, bro. Whatever that was, will have to get out. And we can't coexist. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This is the house of the Lord. The Lord is here. This is the house of the Lord. The Lord is made. God is all up in here, honey. So you can't be up in here. If you ain't down with God, then you don't know me, honey, at all. Cause no, that's not gonna happen. The moment that they came in her room and started darting around, like slamming the door is wow. Is wow. Why you slamming my door? And then you start darting around. Girl, that's not Kimmy. Why would she be running like that? Why would she? No. Why would she just slide under your bed, girl? No. She looked under the bed and almost grabbed the thing's hand, bro. No, I'll be done. The moment she about to, just imagine that in a scary movie, about to grab it, the hand, and then the door opens. You look up and look back down. The hand is gone. It's not there, or it moves really quickly. Girl, no. I envisioned that whole story, bruh. I don't blame her. She was like, we ain't sleeping up in here. We're going back to your room. Girl, oh my goodness. If I had to take that girl to the bathroom, bruh. Honestly, I don't know. I would probably be like, yo, here's a cup. Here's a cup. Here's a cup. We're not leaving this room, girl. Peep your head out and keep me at the end of the hallway in your room like, hi. Twinsies, no friend. That was an N word, honey. No, y'all should have prayed immediately, girl. By seeing something in your corner that you are familiar with. It's a regular visitor in your house, bruh. Nah, not in my house, bruh. Not in my house, honey. Where they do that at, Jesus? Not here. Not here, honey. But thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you're not too scared. Like this video, follow all the creators, and got a TikTok message yesterday or this morning. I don't know. My days are getting blurred in. Kesha. Kaiser has a new series about to come out. A Briarwood series. I think it was Briarwood series. Spooky stories. So we about to be on Kessa for a minute. We about to be on her spooky videos for a minute. I can't wait till she puts that out. It's gonna be scary. Because all her stuff is scary. It's the jump scares for me though. It's the jump scares. But thank you so much and subscribe.